Right, okay. Fucking have some of that.
Go on, go on. So yeah, I just wanted to get talking with what I was thinking about. I was thinking about just earlier. I just got back from getting some money out, and obviously made a mistake. So the first time the first time I went in, pressed the button and say, "Do you want a receipt?" And yes. Stood there for about 10 minutes while this thing was whirling over, and then just rejected my card. I was like, "Oh, that's nice. Cheers for that." So I went through it again and just did it a little bit differently. Took my time, I suppose. I've got the money and everything's paid for, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm in a situation where it's all good there for myself. But I see on the outside scale, it's like, how can we apply that with the worldly events that are going on around us right here, right now? How can we use that to our advantage in any way, shape or form, this knowledge? I mean, you know, what have I got on? What worries me is the element of divisions, realistically. You know, when I'm in the city, I'm slightly divided, because people are divided in a lot of ways. But I mean, I am so thankful to be here in Borneo at this moment in time. And there is just so much minimal division. It's fantastic. It's so positive. And I'm so glad that I've been allowed to experience it. I feel blessed. I really do. To be able to be back in such an environment with such good people, such good friends, loved ones, you know? It's as if I walk around here and people have got love for each other. I walk out the door and people say hello to me. But straight away, they're like, Jigger. You know, these are just guys that do what they do, and everybody, I walk in a coffee bean, or nice not coffee beans, in Starbucks. The lads here, lads and lasses. Hello, Jig, how are you, sir? You know, I'm not out, calm down, don't call me sir. I'm Jigger. Where'd you come from, sir? Jigger. No, Jigger. Well, I come from all over the place, mate. But yeah, UK. You know what I mean? And I start off with that and I explain, you know, a bit in UK, but don't worry about it. Indian, Pakistani, I consider myself a limited. Why is it limited? There we go. Look, you're going to connect to it. Come on, son. Wait. What's that? There we go. Connect, come on. Oh, good vibrations. There we go. See? See? So, where were we? Oh, I need a drink, don't I? Yeah, stroke. Oh, God. That's good. That's good. That balances that out. You see, that's what we need, is that balance. You know, trying to find this balance, eh? And for me, at this moment in time, and I think for the people around me, at least here in Sabah, you know, everybody's in good vibes, you know, it's pretty good going. Apart from this global element, you know, the threat of possible conflict, you know, China and, you know, this is just a strategic location. You know, anybody that wants this area, you know, they have to have Sabah. They have to have it. Whether it's the Chinese or... I wouldn't see that. I wouldn't see any conflict there. It would be detrimental to the game for everybody. Everybody loses out, actually. So I'm think that would be a completely buggerance, actually, if that were to be allowed to happen. So I think we should not let that happen. I think we should put in our mind, we don't need that. Things are as they are, but there's always a capacity to literally just talk it out. Putting egos aside and going back to the very basics and just try and see it from everybody's point of view and opinion, and then come to some collective understanding, and forgive to forget, and say, alright, come on, let's be done with this, let's move on, let's work in conjunction together, rather than upset the apple cart, as it were. But that comes with respect. Everybody needs to be respected. Their point of view at least respected, and hopefully understood and empathised by any other entity that might be, listening to the conversation or understanding it. There has to be, there's knowledge, and then there's wisdom with that essence of knowledge. And it's a collaboration of all those elements, allowing one to be able to empathise fully. And if one empathises, one starts to empathise the full almightiness of the situation, like possible bloody World War III, through Albert Pike and all that sort of business, the age of Thelema. And that's a good point, actually. Aleister Crowley in the age of Thelema. It's that will. And so, if enough energy, when I say energy, enough minds come together, and there's an acceptable essence to that, there's a humanistic element to it, there's a balance level, there's a male-female element, the yin and yang. If that can be achieved within a certain area, grouping, there's one mind, and then there's another person, one adds, add one is two. There's an increase of something. There's an increasing of energies there. And one is one. Well, one is one. That's an energy in itself. But add another one, and then you've got polarity. But you've always got polarity. So what we need to do is try and find the polarity, a natural polarity, an understanding polarity, perception, utilising intuition and empathy, and trying to regain composure and an understanding to the many injustices and things where I feel mankind is slightly off balance. I think mankind is generally unbalanced and at the moment, and if there's a chance of I don't know, how do you do it? How can you nudge an energy and try and, well, I guess it comes down to the essence of thought, doesn't it? If I'm thinking this right now, then hopefully, even within my conscious mind, if it's just my conscious mind is connected to, let's call it the element of mankind. If we are really a collective mind, then we can have an effect on that mind, because we can have a thought, and that thought would lead on to something else. It's Alice in Wonderland, as it were. But you're daytime tripping. And And what you're doing is you're utilising common sense and critical think, which has been hindered, I think, by many nowadays. The essence of people being able to critically think about something, not just what they're told and what they're told to understand at their level of understanding, but critical think goes back to the fact that you should question everything that's been, that you hear. The whole idea is to question, but it doesn't have to be aggressively. It doesn't have to be militarily or anything like that. It doesn't have to, unless, of course, there's a negative effect wave that comes in from another side. So if we have polarity itself and energies being formed, from that, so we've got positive, negative. The more I push on my fingers, now I can relax the body and decide to move those polarities, and they're at peace. There's like holding a weapon system. There's no undue physical effort, and that's like a balance of energy there. But if I'm tense and I'm thinking about, oh right, okay, well hang on a second, we've got a problem there, that needs to be dealt with. What I need to try and do is gain a better element of, how do I say, balance and self. I can already feel my balance going off, so I need to recenter and think and assess on that situation, and not let it override me, not let emotions override. Nothing should be forgotten. Everything should be looked at from an infinite capacity, and that's where that element of empathy comes in. You got to look at the situation and go, okay, right, we have a situation, we need to apply ourselves, but hopefully productively. One way of doing that is again going back to the element of observation, critical think, looking at the situation, and utilising that element of intuition, that knowledge, that wisdom that's been gained from all the other different experiences. That's got an individual up to that point of knowledge where they can impart, through a balanced mind, a balanced projection of oneself into that reality and act accordingly, and hopefully honourably. I think having to be honourable, whether it's in business, business is business, as the old saying. Business, well, it's just business. Don't take it personally, it's business. And in a lot of ways, that kind of makes sense, because it is business. In a lot of ways, a lot of business is about competitiveness. So, one has to, somehow gain the upper hand, and hopefully end up with a product that's accessible, but also there's a want and need for it, and there's no real detrimental after effects of it. It's through thought alone, I suppose. You can't really harm anybody, or you could harm everybody. So you'd have to be responsible for how you put something across, and how that affects others. Again, going back to empathy. Now, whether it's people or the surroundings or the environment, I think it does go back to a spiritual element to it. And I think if we didn't take those other effects, because we have the third dimensional reality, but we also do have the essence of everything that came before us. All those souls and those experiences that we've learned by, whether we take heed of it or not. Someone was, I suppose that's what would be listening to your mentor, but the student themselves were remembers that they're always a student. When it comes down to life, they're always a student. And a master is never a master, because a true master will always know that there is much, much more to obtain. And that's simply a peace of mind and an essence to be able to blend in with any physical manifestation which they feel necessary within the dimension that they are access to at that time. If they can find an equality with the environment, they find a more peaceful equality with all around, and there's a balance, there's a natural balance, and I think that puts out good energy. And I think the more people come together, going back to the collective essence, the more people that come together and are like-minded, have a capacity to, through influence. I mean, with every action there is equal opposite reaction. So, but the whole idea is to influence, or at least hopefully keep the capacity of an honourable thought process, and hopefully within a larger group that gives it more of a wave-like effect, allowing the possibility of like-minded individuals coming together and saying, well, yeah, okay, look, we've looked at it, how we've looked at it, utilising my intuition, I'm going to take a chance on this. I'm going to say, yeah, I like it. I breathe in, breathe out. I look at it. My intuition. Where does my heart? Where am I thinking from? Where am I? How does this affect me? Does it affect me positively, negatively? Does it affect me at all? Or can I aid in some way by putting positive a thought? If something's a good thought, if someone's putting something across, and you go, that's a fucking good point. Whatever did happen to a bit of vulnerability and old school values, where is that missing in our society? And then suddenly someone comes along and they're genuine like that. I turn around and say, yeah, fucking, that's what I'd like to see. Hopefully you can keep that in mind and you can manifest that. You can, you can help have that in the subconscious as well as the conscious mind. And through your actions alone, you react the way you would want to see a situation react. Utilising those values that you adhere to. So it's not about, whether it's a religious element or not. Whether you're a Buddhist or a Taoist, a monk, it doesn't matter whether you're it's not about religion. It's not about religion. It's about principles. That's what it's about. It's about natural, universal principles. That's what it all comes back to. The old saying is, all roads lead back to Rome. Well, there you go. Everything goes back to that element in the end. And I think, when how religions can get utilised. I mean, there's always going to be a division through anything that we see, anything that we engage with. There's a division, but like I said, sometimes the energies are right, and it's a division for a reason, and that allows you to utilise and gain more balance as you realise what it is that you realise about all situations. Again, going back to that open-minded element of empathy. I think, hopefully, I'm putting out the right energies here. I find this place to be a blessing to me in so many ways. And, these energies prevail. And hopefully, like I say, I can help affect, just through energy and positive form, I hope that I can affect on a handsome, honourable scale to all parties, no matter what level a party may come from or class themselves at. I just wish to see, hopefully, an evolution, a greater understanding of each other. I think it's important, and respect for each other. I don't wish to see anybody suffer, or anything suffer. The order of the universe, or whatever you want to call it. I just wish us to. Well, I feel I'm doing the right things here, so. The old saying, what is it? Just go with your intuition. Go with my intuition. Anyway, this is me putting love out to all of it. Thanking you all as well. At whatever level you're at. Whoever you might class yourself as. This is me just turning around and saying respect to you. And, I'll be there for you if you're there for me. You know what I mean? Alright, love to you. Take it easy. Sweet ass. Peace out. And all that. Let's do that.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. Anyway, God bless and all the best. I'm with you.